All right, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. As you've probably seen from our last video, we have a lot going on. So this will be fun. So what we got going on today is we got little Miss Francine here. My 1976 Ford Thunderbird that I'm trying to sell, as you can see by the for sale sign in the window. Well, yesterday when we were at a car show, drove it there, drove it back, did great. I guess not back, but on our way back, I noticed that the transmission started to leak a little bit out the front of the trans. Not the pan, but the front of the trans. And I was like, well, that's not good. So, after some careful examination and talking to some friends of mine that deal with these transes on a daily basis, turns out it's the front seal of the trans. And in order to fix that, we need to pull the trans out of the car. And for some of you that buy and sell cars, that's the last thing you want to do is pull a trans, especially because you're not getting paid for it. It actually comes out of the money that you're trying to sell the car for. So yeah, so now I gotta pull trans, so this will be fun. But yeah, but it's okay because I think I have Luke coming up to work on that, so you'll get to see him. Luke's a really good guy. I mean, me and him used to live together in this house. Gave him a car, a 1991 Dodge Stealth RT twin turbo. Really good friend of mine. He'll be the best man at mine and Ashley's wedding. And that tells you how good of a friend he is to me. Especially because he's wanted to come help me on this. That just shows you how good of a friend he is to me. So, yeah. But Luke is also the king at cutting the exhaust apart. So I might hand him a Sawzall with this and say go to town. Because this car, the exhaust on it doesn't fit the appearance of this car. The exhaust on it is very, very, very quiet. Like, very quiet. So what I want to do is I want to cut the cats off, replace them, and I want to we'll replace the cats with straight pipes, and then replace the mufflers, or just cut the mufflers off. So just straight pipe the whole car, or cut the mufflers off, see how it sounds, go from there, which I think that's what we might do because that's the easiest one, and I kind of just want to get the car fixed and out of here, and I think that's the best way. It'll sound really good. So I think that's the plan. So now I just got to jack the car up and start messing with some stuff and see what we got to do to pull the trans out. So yeah. All right, so I have Francine on jack stands, and what we got going on is we got fluid coming out of the front of the trans, which can really only lead to a bad front pump seal. So the plan is to rip this trans out and get all this out of the way so we don't have to worry about it anymore. When it comes to the exhaust, we have the original Ford Cats right here, and then we got two mufflers over there, and then another two mufflers on the back of the car. So it's got four mufflers and two Cats. So, and that's too many of mufflers. So the plan is we're going to cut the mufflers off of the back of the car, and yeah. But we're going to try to pull the exhaust off of this, off of the front of the the back of the Cats, so we don't have to pull them off of the motor itself. If we need to pull them off of a motor, that's doable. I just really don't want to. So, yeah. I mean, we can. That might be the easier way, but I don't want to break manifolds. So I'm going to try to not do that. So, yeah. So we just got to pull all that out. Then we'll pull the big-ass transmission crossmember out that goes up to both sides of the complete car. And then the starter, I'll wait and pull the starter out once we do the exhaust. And then everything else should be pretty easy. I was looking at it, and the transmission bolts are pretty easy to get to. So once the exhaust is out of the way, so that should be pretty easy. I really don't want to drop this cross member, but we might have to. It's this X brace that, because this car is so freaking huge and heavy that it has to use an X brace on the front end of the car, so that way it keeps it straight. So, and don't you love a big ass car with a little tiny control arm? It's kind of cute. But anyways, so yeah, but other than that, this car is really like rust free underneath of it. So if you're looking at getting this car, I honestly recommend it, because it is honestly kind of a cool car. So I just wish I could keep it, especially with how much work I'm putting into this thing now. You'll get a really good car out of the deal. So yeah. So yeah. Now I just gotta think I'm gonna start pulling the exhaust off and see what we gotta do with that. So yeah, here we go. Well, I decided I'm gonna do the exhaust first by cutting the back mufflers off, so that'll give you a little cold start. Maybe. So this is how she sounds right now. Okay, never mind. Let me try that again. So this is how she sounds right now. Nothing, anything too spectacular. Now, hopefully gonna change that real quick. So, don't want to get that too hot. Do not want to burn myself while working on this car. So yeah, now I want to show you what it sounds like after. All right, after getting these huge mufflers off, that weigh no shit 20 pounds. Let's see what this sounds like now. Might I add, there was a lot of exhaust leaks on the back of the bigger mufflers, so maybe we'll see a difference, maybe not, we'll see. Definitely tell the car's a little louder now. What an interesting sound this car makes. What an interesting sound. But you know what? That's fine. It's what needed to happen anyways. So I'm sure it'll sound different when it's on the ground and less air going through the bottom of it. But that won't be until we get the trans put back in. So now we get to go have fun by pulling the trans. So yeah. All right, so we got the exhaust off fully. So here's what we got going on. Here's the old exhaust. These were the cats bolted onto. So we got those off now. That's good. So now I just got to do the drive shaft. And the drive shaft's kind of interesting because I'll see if I can get a good view of it. So the drive shaft has 12-point nuts on it. So that means I need a 12-point wrench to get in there, or a 12-point socket to get in there. So I'm hoping I have a socket that's a 12-point that's big enough to get in there, or a wrench that's a 12-point that's big enough to get in there. But when it comes to 12-point, I don't have a lot of it, but I have a lot of it down at my shop, but not here. So I guess we'll see what we find out. So I'm hoping Luke should be here, and let's see, what time is it? Luke should be leaving his house about in the next 10 minutes or so. So I'm guessing he'll be here probably in about 45 minutes to a half an hour. Well, once he leaves, so I'll say about 45 minutes to an hour. So yeah, I'm hoping to get the drive shaft off and transmission unbolted from the motor and crossmember out by the time he gets here. So I better go. All right. Stated before, drive shaft's out. linkage is now out. I just undid the torque converter bolts, the bell housing bolts. So the only thing holding this trans in right now, oh, and the starter's out too. So starter's out. So now, is that Ralph? Yeah, that's Ralph. Hi, Ralph. That's good. Always love seeing him. So now what I gotta do is I just gotta undo the cross member and get the trans jack under here, and then we should be good to go with going down. But Luke should be here in a little bit, so I'm gonna get this cross member off and get the trans jack underneath of it, and then once he gets here, then me and him will heave and hoe and get this bitch out. So yeah, just gotta undo the two 11/16 underneath here, and then the two bolts on each side, and then yeah, we will be out hopefully. All right, well, we got Luke here now, and we got the trans, got everything unbolted, everything ready. The only problem that we're having is the mounts are welded to the damn car, right? And these slide into the mounts that are on the car. Well, the only way to get them out is if you remove this mount, but the problem is you can't get to some bolts because you have to remove the mount in order to get to the bolts. So I think we're thinking just to cut these off about here, just go down the rail and just cut the tab right here and cut the tab on the back side, and then I'll re-weld them when I put it back inside the car, and I'll weld it good so that you won't notice. So what do you think, Luke? You think that's a better idea than trying to fight this?
I think we'd be all right.
Yeah, I think so too. So good thing is this car's structured enough, especially with the X bar right here, that if the welds do break, it'll be fine. But I don't think that'll happen. So I'll make sure the welds are good. So yeah, well, Luke, you're laying on the cutting wheel. So go for it. The disc is sketchy, but it's fine. I've got more discs. So, well, we're off to do that. Next time you'll see us, the trans will be out. Hopefully. Well, it's out. Only took cutting the cross member and breaking a cooling line to getting it off, but it's off. It's out. Now we unbolted the oil pump, but it's not coming out. So now we got to pull the pan off and start hitting it from underneath, and hopefully we can get it off. So ready to get trans fluid all over the driveway now.
Ooh.
Bloody murder. Bloody murder. Yay. All right, so it's been a couple days, but we got the front pump out, pan off, and the rest of the trans looks good, so that's a plus. So yeah, that is a plus right there. We just got to take the front pump down to Rob now to get the new bushing put in it, because we looked down at the bushing in the front pump and it was shot. So that's the old seal right there. That's the old gasket and O-ring around it. So yeah, so I just need to take it down to him, get all that fun stuff done, and then yeah. So hopefully I can get it done today, and then once I come back up tomorrow, I can put the trans back together, and then soon, hopefully Friday, we can throw it back in the car and get the car back on the ground, and then get it sold. So yeah, it's been quite the journey the past couple days, but hey, that's what it's for, right? So yeah, this will be fun. Stay tuned. Alrighty tighty, we are back. We got the new bushing put in the oil pump, and the old one was really bad, and this new one is really good. I just had to go to Timbuktu to get it, so it's fine. I got the new stuff in, So that should be good. I just need to run to O'Reilly's and go get a new O-ring and a new O-ring, and my mind's went blank. New O-ring and gasket that I ordered, so I need to go pick those up right now. So yeah, it's fun stuff. So I'll show you what we got going on. All right, got the new seal and the new bushing that's inside of it that you can't see, but new bushing in there. Dog hair everywhere because this is my truck. So I need to get the O-ring, all the fun stuff for that. We'll put the valve body back together, and then we'll be back in business. So hopefully tonight, my goal is to get the trans put back underneath the car and maybe even up into the car. That would be the goal. We'll see if that goal comes to reality. I hope so, but you never know. So, all right. Yeah. Got the trans put all back together, torque converter in. Everything seems to be sealing nicely, so that's good. Now I gotta sketchily lift this whole thing up so I can get the trans underneath the car on the jack, because I'm not about to do it without it. So now I gotta get the car high enough to put the trans underneath of it and jack it up. So this is where the fun begins. So all right, so to give you a little update, I got the trans up inside the car last night. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but I got it done. So I got it up inside. I just need to like tip the torque converter a little more to get it to fully seat inside the trans. I should have done it outside the car, but I didn't. So I need to just tilt it, make sure it's in line with the pump gears, and get it in, and then that way I can start bolting the trans to the car and getting it done, because the goal is to get it on the ground running today. That's the goal, but I have to go work up in Logan today for a little bit, and then I'll be back down here. Then I have to get some stuff for Ashley's birthday, because Ashley's birthday's tomorrow. That's the reason why I kind of need this car out of the way, because her Bronco is behind there and she wants to drive it to work tomorrow, as it literally just got done raining. So it's fine because we needed the rain a little bit. So yeah, so now I just gotta finish this up, but that'll be after I get back. So stay tuned for that here in a second. All right, well, my phone died, so I couldn't get any video or update you on anything, but I needed to get this as close to done as I could. Fortunately, I didn't get it done, but I'll show you what I got going on. So I got the trans in, I got everything pretty much done up underneath there, and I even got the drive shaft in too. You can't really see it. I got the drive shaft in, trans is in, cross members in, everything's bolted. Tomorrow I need to bolt the torque converter to the flex plate, or the flex plate. I got one bolt tightened down so far, just the one that was already there. So I just need to spin the motor around and get the other 3 tightened down, and then I need to do the transmission cooling lines. I need to get new cooling lines and hook them up, because we had to cut both of them off to get out of the trans. So it'll be getting new cooling lines too. So yeah, I'm ready to get this done and over with. So, and then you also need to weld up the bracket, the transmission cross member bracket. I'll show you that right now. I'll show you what's going on with that. I also need to put the exhaust on too. So yeah, so this is where I have to weld it. So I have to go along this line and weld it, make sure it'll hold. So yeah, other than that, we are ready to rock and roll. I'm excited to get this done. Really, really, really excited to get this done. So it'll be nice to get it done, out of my hair, and get it sold. Because I've got a couple of people that have messaged me about it. So I'm hoping it sells and everything goes all nice and splendid with it. So yeah, so we'll see you tomorrow for the full-on rest of the build. I'm tired. So we'll see you tomorrow. All right, so I got some unfortunate news. So when I had everything bolted up, turns out it wasn't bolted up correctly. So need to pull the trans back out. I thought I put the torque converter in all 3 clicks. Turns out it was just 2. So I need to put it in again. So yeah. So I got my buddy Ralph coming over here. He's gonna help me. He has a really good trans jack and he knows what the hell he's doing. So I just need to pull the drive shaft back out. I already pulled the cross member off. So I just need to pull the drive shaft out and take off the cooling lines again, and then go from there. So yeah, let's do this again. All right, so to give you a little update, so me and Ralph were not able to get it in, which is fine. But pretty much what's going on is, see if I can pull this out without breaking anything on myself. Pretty much what's going to happen is so the torque converter needs to go in about another 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And the only way we were able to get it in is if we pulled the pump out of the trans and put it in and put the pump on the torque converter rather than the torque converter in the pump. So we ended up having to take the entire trans apart, and I looked at everything and everything was really good. Clutches were in great shape. Belts were in, well, not the belts, the belt, but the band was in really good shape, so that's good there. So yeah, now I'm just hoping we can get this put back in place and done, because I am done with this freaking trans, and I think so is everyone else that I've had to deal with. So the plan is take it down to Rob and have Rob mess with it, see what he can do about putting this torque converter back in. So that's the plan there, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got the converter out. Nothing looks damaged on it, thankfully, so that's a good sign. Now I'm hoping I can get it to Rob tomorrow. I just need to get it loaded in the back of the King here, get it down to him, and make sure everything is good to go. So everything should be fine, so we shouldn't have any problems getting everything down there. So, and I know he'll be the one to fix it. Don't care if I have to pay him for once I sell this car, but as long as it's put together right, fixed, that's all that matters. So see you when this is back. All right, so I decided I'm gonna make this a multi-part series rather than putting it all in one video, because if I put it all in one video, that's like an hour-long video, and I'm not Vice Grip Garage. I'm not cool enough to watch for an hour long, so don't mind if I do. Check back on part 2, and you'll get to see how Rob's went, the installation of the trans. Hopefully you'll get to see the buyer of the car. I have a buyer for the car, finally. So, and he actually is paying me more. Well, not necessarily more. We're actually going down on price, but more than what he originally offered, because the trans will be gone through and good to go. So thank you to that guy. So yeah, you'll be seeing that next on the next video. So stay tuned. Make sure to like, subscribe. If you're ever in Utah and see me at a show or see this car or any of the other cars that we've got a lot of cool shows coming up. This weekend I'm trying to get this done so that we could pull Death Machine and Fantasy Girl out, because both of them have shows coming up. So yeah, so maybe I'll just shoot some shorts of those vehicles and it'll be fun. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do the little bell thing so that way you know whenever I post stuff, which I usually do it every one video a week, or one video every 2 weeks, depending on what I've got going on and what the financial situation is, because we all know how lovely that is for everyone right now. So yeah, so I'll be looking forward to doing more of this stuff for you guys. So yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, bell, and we'll see you on the next one.